Welcome to Country Music Jubilee. I'm your host, Richard A. Claddy. We're coming to you from Northwest Community TV. We are the CCX Create, and we are the volunteers that make this channel great, all part of the CCX Media Empire. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, you're in for a special treat. We got Rob Daves, Gene Wilms, Don Jakes, the Gritpickers Old Time String Band.
Thank you, Richard. Tennessee, won't you come along with me? Going to Tennessee, baby mine. I'm going to Arkansas, baby mine. Going to Arkansas, baby mine. I'm going to Arkansas, you can stay with your ma and pa. I'm going to Arkansas, baby mine. Going to Chattanooga, baby mine. Going to Chattanooga, baby mine. Going to Chattanooga and there on to Cuba. Going to Chattanooga, baby mine. I'm going to old St. Paul, baby mine. Here we go. Going to old St. Paul, baby mine. I'm going to old St. Paul. Sing this tune for y'all. Going to old St. Paul, baby mine. Now here we go. Got no money, baby mine. Ain't got no money, baby mine. Ain't got no money, then get another honey. Ain't got no money, baby mine. I'm going around this world, baby mine. Going around this world, baby mine. Going around this world with my banjo picking girl. Going around this world, baby mine. All right. Thank you. That was from 1936, if you can believe it. A woman named Lily Mae Ledford and the Coon Creek Gals, put together by a Chicago producer for a radio show in Chicago in 1936. So we're bringing you the true old country music this time.
Excellent. That was Banjo Picking Girl, right?
Right.
Okay, moving on. Well, let me introduce these young gentlemen. Rob Daves on banjo. Gene Wilms here, right here at the end, on a guitar. On the fiddle, Don Jakes. That's it. The Gritpickers Old Time String Band. And we want to encourage people, you have a website, we like to tell people contact you on your website. Is that right there, Rob?
Yeah, we have a Facebook page. You can connect with us on Facebook. Just go to Facebook, The Gritpickers, that's us. Or if you want to send us an email, it's gritpickers@gmail.com. We also have a couple of CDs. You're welcome to order them on cdbaby.com.
That's a beautiful thing. Okay, moving on. The Gritpickers are going to be playing what? Moon Behind the Hill. What can you tell me about that? I understand it's mainly credited to a West Virginia fiddler, Melvin White.
Melvin Wine.
Melvin Wine.
He was one of the bigger influences in old-time string band music. And he played it as a reel, We've modified it just a little bit. I told you about it a few minutes ago. We're going to do it as a polka.
Oh, how about that? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the Gritpickers Old Time String Band.
Thank you. A little bit of polka music.
Excellent, excellent. Moving right along, we're going to go right to Walk Right in Belmont. Is that correct?
Oh, and you'd better do it too.
Oh, man. Now, this is by Wilmer Watts.
Wilmer Watts, in 1926. Wilmer Watts was a cotton mill hand. Now, old-time string band music has a deep and rich history in mill music and in rural music. And in North Carolina in the 1920s, a cotton mill was a rough place to work, Richard. It really was. Now, Wilmer, he played, in addition to wandering around and having a lot of different jobs in a cotton mill, he played in an old-time string band. And he wrote this tune about what you really shouldn't do on Friday nights after you got paid. You know, you got paid every Friday night, and the mill owner would give you a pay envelope with cash in it. Now, to a young man, what do you do on Friday nights with just cash and not many other obligations? You get in trouble. And then, if you're married, you have to do what? You got to call the little lady to come bail you out.
All right. I believe all three are going to be singing this one?
We're going to do it.
Okay, here we go.
When you go to Belmont, you better walk right. And you better not gamble, and you better not fight. Police come get you and take you right down. Ain't got no money, I'm changing pound. Here comes my woman, oh how do you know? By the little old apron she always wore. Umbrella on her shoulder and money in her hand. I'll stand by, Captain, gonna get my man. o'clock in the morning, hear the ding-dong ring. Go down to the table, it's the same old thing. There's coffee on the table, just bitter as gall. Don't like it always, you don't get none at all. Yonder comes my woman, oh how do you know? By the little old apron she always wore, umbrella on her shoulder and money in her hand. Now stand back, Captain, gonna get my man. 6 o'clock in the evening, hear the ding-dong ring. Go down to the table, see the same old thing. Cornbread on the table, just hard as a rock. Ain't got enough ladies, break a husband's heart. Yonder comes my woman, well how do you know? By the little old apron she always wore, umbrella on her shoulder and money in her hand. Well, stand back, Captain, gotta get my man. Yonder comes my woman, well, how do you know? By the little old apron she always wore, umbrella on her shoulder and money in her hand. Now stand back, Captain, gotta get my man. Now stand back, Captain, gotta get my man.
All right.
Thank you, thank you.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, we're going to be moving on now. I believe the next one's going to be an instrumental. Is that correct?
Oh, just one of many.
One of many. We're going to be at the mouth of the Tobique.
Tobique, that's right. This is all country music's not just American. We have some Canadian country music too. This is a French-Canadian tune that Don brought to the band, and we're just thrilled with it. We like it a lot. It's a 3-part tune, and it gives him a chance to show off his bowing style a little bit.
Once again, the Gritpickers, old-time string band. This is Country Music Jubilee. I'm your host, Richard A. Claddy. Honored to have the Gritpickers in here tonight. Now, the Gritpickers, I believe you guys have been together, 10, 12 years, something like that?
Yeah, it's been long enough, and when you're at our age, you tend to forget what happened some of in the past. So it's been long enough that we're not real sure. We know our first CD came out in 2011, And the second CD came out in just this past summer, as a matter of fact. So, yeah, about 10 or 12 years, something like that.
And now you're from mainly the Twin Cities area, is that correct?
Yeah, Gene is from Chanhassen, beautiful Chanhassen. Don is from, and always has been, from right upstream in Minnetonka, right on the creek. And I used to live in South Minneapolis. That's where the accent comes from, right?
That's right. I recognize that.
Yeah. No, I grew up in North Carolina. Been here lovingly.
Love that winter, don't you?
In Minnesota, yes, sir, for 30 some years now.
All right, you're a veteran now. Okay, once again, we're coming to you from Northwest Community TV. We are CCX Media. We are CCX Create. We are the volunteer end of CCX Media, this overwhelming entity. They paid some stiff white shirt, I'm sure a couple $100,000 to come up with CCX Media. But once again, we are CCX Create, and we have a lot of fun down here. We're all volunteers, and we got a great studio audience. Once again, I want to thank them for coming. So let's get right back into it. We got Georgia Buck, is that correct, coming up?
Oh, that's right. This is a great old tune. Don brought this one to the band. He learned it directly from one of the old guys back in the 90s when he was still alive. That was Joe, when Joe was still alive. Not Don's still up here playing yet. When Joe Thompson, who was a North Carolina black shortbow fiddler, was still alive, he used to teach at these fiddle camps. Don picked this tune up for him and brought it to Gene and me. We just love it to death. It's called Georgia Buck. Now, Georgia Buck is dead, and so is Joe, but he left us a message for you cooks out there.
All right, Don Jakes, ladies and gentlemen, taking the lead on this one. Georgia Buck.
Don't put no shortening in my bread. Yeah, Georgia Buck is dead. The last words he said. Don't put no shortening in my bread. Georgia Buck is dead, and last words he said, don't let no woman have her way. If she have her way, she go and stay all day.
What?
Don't let no woman have her way. Georgia Buck is dead, and last words he said, don't put no shortening in my bread. Don't put no shortening in my bread, my mom. Don't put no shortening in my bread.
Georgia Buck.
Don Jakes on the lead there on that fiddle. And that's some good fiddling there, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
A little different kind.
Okay, moving right along. I think you're going to do a little melody here.
They're working me pretty hard. aren't they?
You got two traditional Southern instrumental songs, I understand, coming up next. Is that correct?
That's right.
We're going to work on Pikes Peak and Billy in the Lowland.
Low ground.
Low ground. In the low ground.
Billy in the
I
Low
don't
Ground,
like the
yeah.
difference.
One of the things that distinguishes true old-time string band music from, say, garden variety bluegrass is that the banjo has to retune for every tune that we do in a different key. So I just retuned the banjo to a C tuning. We're going to do these two tunes. One is a traditional tune called Pikes Peak. We go way up high, and it's played all the way from the eastern U.S. to Arkansas. The other tune is a tune that it's called Billy in the Low Ground, and it's got Irish roots, as many of our tunes do.
Okay, the Gritpickers, old-time string band. All right, now you're going to go right in the next one here?
We're going to tune a little bit here.
Tune a little bit.
You talk about tuning. Banjos, they tune on stage. I just bring another fiddle.
All right, while we're tuning here, maybe I can take a short break, and we always like to recognize our volunteers. And today, I want to thank Karen Woods once again, doing great work on graphics. Tim Allman on audio today, great guy. Everybody recognizes him for his great talent down here, and he does great work. And of course, Jimmy Morris directing today. He's a great friend of mine. I've known him for a couple years down here. Does great work too. Larry Huppa over here on main man, doing the floor directing, doing the cameras. Jeannie Farley also on cameras today. And Danny Smith, right? Connor Smith. Got it, okay. I gotta get my glasses. I gotta get those cheaters. Danny Connor Smith, there you go. Helping out, that's our camera team, doing a great work, all right. Darlene Moore, helping out once again with the audience, doing great work. And Wyatt Wadzink also helping me. He's the man, he's got this great show going 10 years ago. and he's kind of retiring. He's talking about moving, getting out of the state because of the winter, but I hope he sticks around. He does great work helping me with the band still, and maybe if he goes to Arizona, we'll go down there and do a live show down there. We got Becky Nelson helping out over here on grip. Thank you. And we got a special announcement tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Eugene and Joan Kurkowski celebrating their 62nd wedding anniversary. How about that, huh? 62 years. 62 years. No, what'd you get married when you were 13, 14?
You're going to have about 3 of them, I'd guess.
You're looking great. Well, thanks a lot. You've been down here a lot, and we appreciate you coming down here. And I also want to thank the volunteers. I mean, the audience also, all you guys coming down. You make the show what it is, and we really appreciate the audience coming down. Once again, we're all volunteers down here. We're coming to you from Northwest Community TV. We cover the northern suburbs of Minneapolis, and this is a great facility. If you live in the area, it's all free, and all these volunteers, a lot of them produce their own shows, and they're helping. That's how I met Wyatt. Volunteered on his show, and then he needed help co-hosting, and worked my way right into this exciting job here. Okay, I want to thank you once again, volunteers and our great audience. All right, moving along, Rob, I think you're going to take us, you're going to sing a song called Cripple Creek.
We're going to walk up on Cripple Creek. Join us in the chorus. You'll know it.
All right.
Biting up Cripple Creek hole. Roll my britches to my knees. I'll wait on Cripple Creek, I please. Going up Cripple Creek, going on a run. Going up Cripple Creek, have a little fun. Going up Cripple Creek, going on a whirl. Going up Cripple Creek, my girl. Takes my gun, shoots straight and true. Going up Cripple Creek, going on a run. Going up Cripple Creek, have a little fun. Going up Cripple Creek, going on a whirl. Going up Cripple Creek, she's my girl. Wait, oh, Cripple Creek, in my sleep. Cripple Creek cold, Cripple Creek's muddy. I'm so drunk, can't stand steady. Going up Cripple Creek, going on a run. Going up Cripple Creek, having fun. Going up Cripple Creek, going on a whirl. Going up Cripple Creek, see my girl. Going up Cripple Creek, going on a run. Going up Cripple Creek, having fun. Going up Cripple Creek, going on a whirl. Going up Cripple Creek, see my girl.
All right. Now the Gritpickers, old-time string band. Where do we see you guys? What do you do during the summertime? You play festivals, tour the Midwest, cover the whole country? Where can we find you?
Well, you know, we put in a bid to play for the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, about time to get some good country western music in
You know,
there.
they thought that some rock star would be better than country music.
I don't get it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
But if you go to a lot of farmers markets, fiddle festivals, bluegrass festivals, we'll be there. We're going to be playing next weekend on the main stage at the Minnesota Bluegrass and Old Time Music Association's Winter Festival. And we typically do a concert for county parks and things like that. It's just a great way to share the music with real people.
Well, that's what we're all about down here is live music. We encourage people to go out and support live bands, and that's what it's all about, keeping the music alive. This day and age, it gets kind of crazy with the internet and everything. Hard to sell your CDs and stuff this day and age and stuff. Okay, well, we're going to be moving right along. I think we're moving up to Ducks on the Pond. Is that correct?
Yeah, this comes from, well, depending on where he lived at the time, he was either from Virginia or West Virginia. A fellow named Henry Reed, who was a very, he's passed away long these many decades now, but he was instrumental in influencing fiddle tunes and old-time music. He managed to be a wonderful fiddler, play a lot of dances and things like that, and support a family of 12 children. Oh. And he worked in a power plant in West Virginia, Virginia. This is called Ducks on the Pond.
Here we go. Good, very good. All right, moving on, I think we're going to do Big Rock Candy Mountain next. This is authored by Harry McClintock, is that correct?
That's right.
Good old Harry. What's the story behind Harry?
Well, you know, Harry came from an interesting background. Most people will know this tune if you either A, grew up with Burl Ives. Let's see, yep, here, got that one checked off. Or you looked at Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, the movie. Yep, got that one checked off too. But they weren't the first ones to do it. This McClintock fellow wrote this tune, he claims, in 1895 about hobo jungles and such. And that means I'm going to have to retune or break a string here. I have to deal with that in just a minute. In the meantime, we're going to ask Gene to sing that for us, and I'm going to bring out a special instrument here.
Okay, Gene's going to sing Big Rock Candy Mountain.
All right. One evening as the sun went down and the jungle fire was burning, down the track came a hobo hiking. He said, boys, I'm not turning. I'm headed for land that's far away beside the crystal fountain. So come with me, we'll go and see the Big Rock Candy Mountain. In the Big Rock Candy Mountain, all the cups of cheese, and the bulldogs all have rubber teeth, and the hens lay soft-boiled eggs. The farmer's trees are full of fruit, and the barns are full of hay. So I'm bound to go where the rain don't snow, where the rain don't fall, and the wind don't blow, in the Big Rock Candy Mountain. In the Big Rock Candy Mountain, and you can walk right out again as soon as you are in. There ain't no sword and shovels, no axes, saws, or picks. I'm gonna stay where you sleep all day, and they hung the jerk and bed to work in the Big Rock Candy Mountain. In the Big Rock Candy Mountain, you never change your socks. and the little streams of alcohol come a-trickling down the rocks. The brakemen have to tip their hats and the railroad bulls are blind. There's a lake of stew and a whiskey too. You can paddle all around them in a big canoe in a big rock candy mountain. I'll see you all this come and fall in a big rock candy mountain.
All right, all right. Hey, Rob, what'd you pull out of your pocket there?
Well, this thing has a lot of different names. We call it a mouth harp. And
Nice.
and you know, it was small, it was cheap, and it was easy for a hobo to carry around with him.
Tradition. That goes back hundreds of years, I take it.
I would imagine so. We're going to switch up a little bit and let me change strings.
Darn
And
right.
let Don and Gene do a tune that everybody will recognize. Both here and in TV land, you can sing along with it. Would you do Sunshine?
We got a special treat coming here. Good. Do a little sunshine.
Everyone knows this too.
All right, here we go. The Gritpickers Old Time String Band.
The other night, dear, while I lay sleeping, I dreamt I held you in my arms. When I awoke, dear, I was mistaken, and I hung my head and cried. You told me once, dear, you really loved me, and that no one would come between. But now you've left me to love another. You have shattered all my dreams. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. My dreams, dear, you seem to leave me. When I awake, my poor heart pains. So won't you come back and make me happy? I'll forgive, dear, I'll take all the blame. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
All right, I recognize that as an old Jimmy Davis tune. Is that right?
I think Rob might have a couple more things to add to that, but I
Okay.
think that's right.
Well, we'll take a little short break here. I want to encourage people to call our response line, 763-533-1710. We want to hear what you think of this show. And we, once again, coming to you from Northwest Community TV. This is all part of the CCX Create family down here. We are the volunteers end of it. This is a facility that people's, they pay for cable, and like we get, let's say they pay $5, or we might get a nickel of that every month or something. But it adds up because we cover the whole northern suburbs of Minneapolis.
Right.
And I want to thank the people here at Northwest Community TV, the volunteers, and the staff. We've got great staff down here that help us get set up with the cameras, help us contact people, and they do a great job down
Yeah,
here.
you guys are great for us today. Really helped us a lot. So
Oh,
nice
thank you.
job.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, Rob, how you doing there?
We got a new string on the banjo.
Excellently. Okay, so we're going to get back in order here. I think we're going to, we just finished You Are My Sunshine. You know, I was just talking about Jimmy Davis. Is that correct?
That's right. Jimmy Davis was a politician in Louisiana. He was also a country music star in the early days of country music, and he bought this tune from, and the sources differ about which band, but an East Texas band, and adopted it for himself. And then, during his stardom, he decided to run for political office. And so he ran for governor of Louisiana. And every time he'd ride into town on a stump speech, he would ride in on this white horse named Sunshine. Sunshine, that's right.
Okay, now we're moving on. Rob, I think you're going to sing the next tune. Is this Cumberland Gap?
Yeah, you know, when the settlers came over to North America and they wanted to go west, there weren't many places to get through the mountains with a wagon. They could either go around the southern Appalachians, they could go through the Delaware Gap, or they could take this low place in Kentucky and Tennessee and Virginia called the Cumberland Gap. This tune's about that.
All right. The Gritpickers.
Lay down, boys, take a little nap, wake up, so we're in the Cumberland Gap, Cumberland Gap, Cumberland Gap, wake up, so we're in the Cumberland Gap. Hey, little girl, if you don't care, leave my damage on sitting right there. But ain't here when I get back, no hell to pay in the Cumberland Gap. Now I'm going up to the Cumberland Gap to visit my granny, my grandpapa. Cumberland Gap, this is my granny, my grandpapa. Now the Cumberland Gap's a mighty fine place, 3 kinds of water to wash your face, wash your face, wash your face, 3 kinds of water to wash your face. Save my money and buy me a farm, raise sweet taters as long as your arm, long as your arm, long as your arm, raise sweet taters as long as your arm. Now when I die, don't bury me at all, pickle my bones in alcohol, leave my hands across my chest, tell all the pretty girls to go to rest. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, once again, this is Country Music Jubilee. This show started 10 years ago. Wyatt Wives Inc. did a great job. This man had a great tradition of country music. He was from, worked down in Texas and came up here, started the show at Northwest Community TV, and we really appreciate all the work he did building the foundation for this show. And I've been helping him out for a couple of years now. Wyatt has retired. I think he's touring the country, touring the world. And This show is seen all over the world. We got responses from England, I believe
All right.
Germany, and
There's a lot of good old-time music in England. They love it there over there.
you've been taking the band over there anytime soon?
No, but we have some friends that come over here. A couple of them stayed with us one time. It was a hoot.
Okay, excellent. Well, like I said, this is shown throughout the country, and we really appreciate people like you coming in and helping out. And like I said, we're all volunteers, just trying to show people that good time country music's still alive and well. And we do gospel, we've done all kinds of music. It all overlaps as long as it's just good time music. You can't go wrong. Classic country, just a beautiful thing. So, okay, we want to thank you once again, the Gritpickers, Old Time String Band, Rob Daves here on banjo, Gene Wilms here on guitar, and Don Jakes on fiddle. All right.
Yeah.
So you can do a little country waltz next?
We are. We're going to do a cowboy waltz. This dates way back. One of the versions that a lot of people that play this, they get it from the New Lost Ramblers string band, but they got it from a fellow named Woody Guthrie, according to most of the versions I've heard. We're going to do it for you. It's called the Cowboy Waltz.
Thank you.
And it's a waltz, folks. Thank you. You're too kind. You're too kind.
Cowboy waltz. All right. Once again, I want people to contact us at our viewer response number. That is 763-533-1710. Want to hear from you what you think of this band. If you have any suggestions for future bands, just tell us what you think of cable access television. We would want to get your feedback and let us know what you think. All right. So once again, we should let people know how to get a hold of the Gritpickers.
You can contact us a number of different ways. We'd love to hear from you. You can email us at gritpickers@gmail.com, or you can go to Facebook. Check out our Facebook page, Facebook The Gritpickers.
Excellent. Okay, now moving along. Soap Suds Over the Fence. Now, what can you tell us about this? Is a traditional instrumental tune, maybe
It is
Indiana background on this one?
Yeah, it is a traditional tune. It actually has, we think, some German roots to it. It came over, and we hear it was popular back in the day, 1800s, 1900s, in Indiana, and then it moved up to Michigan. Don brought it to the band from a fiddler named James Bryan, and so we'd like to do Soap Suds Over the Fence.
All right. All right, we're going to have to talk a little few minutes here, get some background on Rob. Rob Daves, tell us a little bit about yourself. What brought you to the banjo?
Oh, wow. I finished school, got my thesis done, and I said, I'm free. I've got all this time in the world. What do you want to do? Well, I've always loved the banjo. And so I bought a banjo. It was a $50 Korean banjo. Sounded just about as expensive as it was. And took some group lessons from an old-time player named Julie Gillespie, who learned her music from a fellow named Wayne Erbson, who lives in Asheville and is a well-known clawhammer banjo teacher. Played in a couple of bands in North Carolina, moved up here, and played for about 10 years with the Wild Goose Chase Cloggers as a member of their house band, and then found these guys. And it's just been magic ever since.
Well, we appreciate that. Well, let's talk to Don Jakes on fiddle there. What brought you to the fiddle, young man?
Well, some friends and I went to a bluegrass festival, and it looked like so much fun with all the jamming and so forth.
Did you ride your motorcycle?
No,
Not
I was already 40.
That was not
I hadn't
that
played
one.
any music, but anyway, we decided we should do this. So one picked the guitar, one picked the banjo. All that was left was the fiddle.
Oh.
So I took the fiddle.
What do
They're
you got?
not playing, but I'm still playing.
What do you got, a couple extra ones there? Tell us a little bit about your
in
fiddles.
this traditional music, they retuned the fiddle for various reasons by key. They played for dances, and a lot of times the instrument wouldn't project, but the key of A would project really well, so they cross-tuned, meaning that they went from AE to AE instead of, the standard fiddle. So they do that for various keys, which gives the fiddle a little different sound.
Do you have some favorite bluegrass players?
Not so much bluegrass, but old-time players.
Old-time
'Cause,
pickers?
James Bryan being one of them.
Okay.
That was the last tune we did, was one of his
Yeah,
tunes.
and Reese Jones is one of my favorite fiddlers.
Okay, we got Gene Wilms here on guitar. What brought you to the guitar, young man?
Well, I think actually Don brought me to the guitar. I had guitar when I was younger, but I never played with other people, so Don asked me to play for some holiday doings one year, and that's what got me started, and I'm
right.
still doing it.
Oh, well, we thank you. Once again, it's the Gritpickers Old Time String Band. We're getting down to the end here. What are we at? Come meeting in July?
Camp meeting
in July.
Yeah. It's a great tune, a good story. This is a traditional Alabama, we think it's Alabama, Deep South instrumental tune that we picked up. We'd known how to play it under a different name, and we discovered that a fellow named Casey Hash from southwestern Virginia had written some lyrics to it. And they renamed it to Camp Meeting on the 4th of July. We love the tune. We love the lyrics. And so we called up Casey, just picked up the phone, called him up, said, "Hey, Casey, can we play your tune? Can we play your song?" He said, nobody makes a lot of music in old-time string band
money.
world. Not a lot of money. Yeah, nobody makes a lot of money in this kind of thing. When you get done with your CD, send me a couple of copies, and you can use the song. We liked it so much that we named our CD after it. It's called Camp Meeting, and the song is called Camp Meeting in July.
All right, it's going to be our last song. You're going to jam out on this one, I understand. Is
Yeah,
that-
we might play. We might wind up with a tune called Julianne Johnson while the credits roll.
Okay, once again, I want to thank the Gritpickers Old Time String Band coming in here. This is Country Music Jubilee. I'm your host, Richard A. Clady. I want to thank the great people down here, the volunteers, the audience, the staff. Great people. Come on down here and be part of the fun. Take it away, the Gritpickers.
little boy, I'd milk the cows and clean the sty. Knew the time was getting near, camp meeting in July. We all dressed in our Sunday best, shirts and pants all washed in lye. People come from miles around, camp meeting in July. Glory, hallelujah, see the fire in the sky. Glory, hallelujah, camp meeting in July. Glory, hallelujah, we all sing the sweet by and by. Glory, hallelujah, camp meeting in July.
My sister cry, Mama Kohler with a band camp meeting in July. The Deacons had a baseball game, we all ate ice cream, apple pie. We all had a big old time camp meeting in